Hey everyone, Duane here.
Becky.
With Bronco Wild Outdoors. Little man is a little under the weather right now. We went out to dinner tonight, and I think he ate a little too much. So he's taking it easy, taking the night off, right? So Becky's filling in for him. So welcome back to another live stream. This one on YouTube. Last night we did Insta.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Awesome.
And so a little Bronco news this week, Extreme Bronco. I really can't wait to make that Extreme Bronco thing a reality by doing some extreme stuff with our Badlands. So it's going to be pretty cool.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
It'll be very soon.
So that's what we want to talk to you about. I'm going to put out a video in the next day or so that'll have sort of the dates, the video that we saw Ford explaining the reality with the tops. I changed my order. A week later, we got a build date. And it's pretty cool. Last Wednesday, September, was that 8th, our Bronco was built. So it's exciting to be able to see that. Officially, I got the email today, but I've been tracking it through the app and through the dealer. And so we were able to find out Friday afternoon and had been through the mod shop, final QC inspections, and it was actually sitting at a holding lot waiting to jump the train to head to Virginia.
Right. And I just have to say, how cool has that been for you to be able to track the progress of your vehicle build on an app?
Yeah, it really is cool. So here's the thing too, from going back to reserving 2 Broncos during the reveal when Ford had the video that came out. It was on TV. It was also all over the internet. Was it July 13th, 2020, and learning about the Bronco, starting this channel and some social media stuff, and really learning the inner workings of the Bronco, not just the cool features and, but what is it? I guess the ownership, what's the ownership's going to be like, for all of us? Are we actually going to use the off-road ability of this Bronco? I know I am.
That's the plan. Yep.
And that's the plan. And so it's one of those things where you might not use it every day or every weekend, but you have it in case you need it. And that's kind of cool. And, people joke and they say, well, it's going to be a mall crawler and stuff like that. We actually are going to use our Bronco. As a matter of fact, if we get it this week, which is possible, or next week, but if we get it this week, we have an event coming. Well, we have something going on this weekend. And then the following week, I have something else going. But about 2 weeks later, when we can, we're going to head to the Outer Banks and we're going to try it out. Trust me, plenty of video, plenty of camera, no shortage of cameras, by the way.
Right.
So it's going to be fun. Becky's going to get to drive it, of course, for the first time.
I know.
You haven't driven one yet.
Wait.
Yeah. So tonight was pretty cool. We went to dinner with some friends. And so this is starting to be the reality of the Ford Bronco on the road. We headed over to Virginia Beach and we were.
No, we were in Norfolk.
No, it was on Northampton when we saw the first one.
Yeah. Sorry. I digress.
See, mark this.
He was right.
Mark this day down. And the internet heard you say I was right. So we're headed down this road, and there was, and I saw it as I passed by. It was either a Outer Banks or a Big Bend. I think it was an Outer Banks based on the wheels. Antimatter blue. The top was all the way back. It was a soft top, and the doors were off. And that was the first one full size in the wild I've seen. I know people see them all the time, but it's the first one I've seen. So then we went to dinner, and we crossed over city line. We were in Norfolk there, and sitting when we came out of the restaurant, sitting in the parking lot was a 2.3 manual Cactus Gray, Badlands non-Sasquatch.
Which was cool because that's the first time that I'd actually seen Cactus Gray on a Bronco.
And you liked it
in real life, and I did like it. I wasn't a fan before,
so Becky,
but I do like it now.
Sorry to cut you off.
Sorry,
won't happen again. Sorry. So Becky saw the Cactus Gray on a Ranger, and she really didn't like it, right?
No, I just thought it looked dirty.
And so now on the Bronco, it's totally a different color.
Yeah, it is.
And you really, really like it.
Yes. Excuse me.
And of course, it's new, it's fresh. The tags were August, so they got it in August, so they've only had it a few weeks, but. Nice looking Bronco. So if you watch this and you're from the southeastern Virginia area and you bought it at Beach Ford, hey, we saw your Bronco today. It's actually looking pretty sharp. So there's one thing I was trying to trick Gavin, but he knows better. So my little boy that you normally see on here really, and let me tell you what he knows about Broncos. So I said, hey, Gavin, on the hero switches, we were missing one button. What was that? and immediately without hesitation, trail turn assist.
It just amazes me that a 9-year-old knows so
Yeah,
much about a Bronco.
yeah,
He's like the Rain Man, the Rain Kid of Bronco.
The Rain Kid of Bronco. So okay, why, Gavin? Well, it's manual. They only offer it with automatic. I'm like, this is cool. Like and so that's the fun part about this whole deal. I wish he was up here with us, but this father-son thing that you and I talked about. Putting your kid out on YouTube with you is something that, do you want to do it? But, it's the experience, right? It's the fun part of it. Most people watching this right now, like, what is this right here? Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, Andy, like and share these cats. Yeah, so by the way, I don't know exactly what that means, but if you were watching me probably a month ago, we were doing a live stream on a Sunday night. We had my cat ran across the table here in front of me. You can't make it up on a live. That's why I say lives are dangerous now. You really got to watch live. So, but it's pretty cool seeing the Bronco out in the wild, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. So today we saw, like I said, I'm pretty sure based on the wheels, it was in Outer Banks, antimatter blue, soft top, doors off, and then an hour later after dinner we saw this other one. So you're starting to see these things and I know some people seen them for months out in the road. It was kind of cool. I've been around the Bronco in Tennessee and Texas and several different small events, driven the Bronco, and actually really feel like I'm in a good position to start wheeling with mine because I had that experience over that 2 days in Texas, and that was pretty cool. So really looking forward to it. But it's awesome. And so here's the deal: we might get it this week. Now, there was somebody I connected with on Instagram that his Bronco was built on September 7th. So a day before mine. His showed up at the dealership on Saturday. Based on that, and I don't know if anything had to be modded on it or not. I know mine did, but based on that and the email that I received saying it's already at the rail yard, it's possible Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? So we've been
Christmas.
Yeah, we've been talking about this thing for a long time. And I know you're tired of me talking about it, but it's pretty cool.
Get it and love it and drive it.
And so and by the way, hey, comment if you like the shirt. Like, this is Brave wearing this shirt on YouTube live. And hey, Jessica, nice seeing your comment again. It is exciting. And help me out in the comments. Did you receive yours yet? Because I can't remember if you're waiting for the build date, or if you've got your build date, or if you actually have your Bronco. My build date estimate was next summer. Yeah. So
hopefully that'll change.
So Andy, one of the things too is, said it over and over, first day reservation holder for us pretty much was quiet with me as far as direct communication. But as soon as we changed to that soft top, bam, next week we had a build date.
Thanks, Andy. He likes your shirt. I like the island shirt.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hey, why not? So
we're extending summer for as long as possible.
We're going to drag summer out because the idea was we wanted a Bronco in the summer, right? So we could do this cool stuff. But I think, what I think? We're getting into the perfect weather to cruise with the top down. Yeah. We're getting into the perfect weather to head to the Shenandoah, closest mountain line to us. Shenandoah Valley is a really cool place. Do some wheeling up there, of course. I can't wait to hit the Jeep trails. Sorry, don't hate me, guys.
We love everybody.
I just, I can't wait to get the video of me doing the Jeep trail. Hey, and we actually have a friend of mine. I think we're going to do some. Y'all are going to work together, collaborate. Fun stuff with this Jeep.
It's all friendly banter.
It is with us. I know some people get really wound up about it.
Yeah, they do.
We had somebody
seen the back and forth.
But if we all like the same vehicle, it really wouldn't be fun.
Right. Hey, it's what makes it work.
But base Sasquatch was pushed to 22. The upside again there. Yeah. Well, the Area 51, that's my color. I stuck with it, even though you and I kind of, so Becky tried to walk me off the cliff there, or the edge of the cliff there. if boxwood, I said this last night on Instagram, if boxwood green was a color, there would have been no option. But here's the problem, and you saw it tonight. You didn't like Cactus Gray on a Ranger, but you liked it on the Bronco.
Yeah, and there are other colors that I didn't appreciate.
So,
however, I think if they were on the Bronco, I would like them. But on other cars, I just wasn't a fan.
Right. So, and that's my point is, when you see Area 51 on a Maverick, it just looks different to me. When you see Area 51 on a Bronco and it's dirty in Moab, it looks like really one color. When you see it detailed and cleaned in Tennessee with a little bit of rain, man, to me, it's a totally different color.
Well, I mean, I have to say it looked pretty sweet tonight.
Yeah. Well, the Cactus Gray. Yeah. The Area 51, we actually there's a mannequin over in Norfolk at a dealership, and it's a Big Ben with Sasquatch.
Andy talked about the Cyber Orange.
Yeah.
I like that too.
The Cyber Orange.
Yeah, but I was iffy about that one, just to wonder if it was too bold, but I do like it.
No, I like it. And here's the thing about a Bronco, you can't go wrong with the colors. Like if Ford just said, we'll give you whatever color we want, I'd take any of them. I mean, I like all of the colors. I'm disappointed to see Rapid Red go, because there was one point when I went to Pennsylvania, Gavin and I went up to Pennsylvania, and the Rapid Red Bronco was there, almost did it.
Well, I like the Rapid Red.
Yep. Yeah, and that Cyber Orange, I really like it on the Bronco. First time we actually saw it was in Tennessee, and it was really cool. Now, you had to see it day one, because after that it was pretty dirty.
Well, we did see one on the truck recently when we were driving the one in Hampton.
Yep. Yeah, the first one I saw was in Tennessee, but we did see that. And actually,
it looked great though.
Yeah, it did. There's a short here on our channel. If you haven't, by the way, subscribe to our channel. Watch all the cool videos, but there's a short on here of us passing that. We were actually in a Big Ben, Area 51, doing a review, and a car hauler passed us with this Bronco. And so that was the first time seeing one on a transport, right? So it was kind of cool. It's the small things, right? And then tonight was the first time that I've seen one, and then now, bingo, I saw two tonight. It's pretty cool.
So Andy's getting black, and will wrap it in a clear red, so it'll sparkle. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And isn't that cool how we can take one color and wrap it and do something different? We have custom graphics going on ours, and then the PPF to wrap all of that. Now, I'm not an expert on it. I am going to pay the experts to do it, but I'm going to tell them exactly what I want and then let them do the job. But someone did talk to me about putting the graphics on top of the PPF. And I mean, it's knowing what I know about it. I said, no, I want to put that on the paint. I want to put that down as the base and then wrap everything. I guess the downside is if you ever want to change your graphics.
Yeah, then you've got that shadow.
So you're going to have to pull, if you put it down first, you're going to pull off. Either way, it doesn't matter. I know there's a ton of different ways of doing anything on this planet, right? So, but the Cyber Orange is really cool. But I picked Area 51. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, there's a Sasquatch Big Ben mannequin over in Norfolk. I was able to take you by, and you were able to see that in person. Right. And there again, it's crazy.
It looks great.
The soft top and the wheels even make it look different, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't you get a different feel for that one based on the non-Sasquatch Big Ben?
Yeah, the package, yeah.
The Big Ben we did. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit different. I think, though, when we throw some orange accent on there, which I'm going to be bold. I mean, look, I'm wearing the shirt. Why wouldn't I put brown? Why wouldn't I put brown on my Bronco? Actually, why don't we wrap it like this? Wouldn't that be cool? No? Okay.
I'm very conservative.
I'll keep
so
going.
You're asking the wrong person.
But it's pretty cool. And the great thing is how I really don't care what someone does with their Bronco. I mean, it's theirs to do what they want to with it. But I can't wait to see all of the variations, because there's going to be that you think you did the craziest thing out there, and then bam, you see one going down the road with this really retro graphics design on there. And so I'm waiting to see someone with the Evel Knievel design, like take the white Bronco and just max it out with Evel Knievel graphics. That'll be cool. The Captain America kind of a look.
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool, right? But we have too many white vehicles now, so we couldn't have got a white one. Now, there was someone that they bought a black Bronco, and they wrapped it in this sort of army green, the PPF that was, the army green color, and that was pretty wild. And then, of course, in 22, if you like the different color. Hey, Pilgrim Wanderings, greetings. I was actually just saying I knew someone that had a Bronco built the day before mine and showed up Saturday. So huge congratulations to you. Very exciting, man. I can't wait to see it and see the pictures.
Jessica's getting the Cactus Gray. It looked sweet in person. It really did tonight.
Here's the funny thing. Let's talk about Cactus Gray for a minute. So after we had family in town, and so we were talking to them, and when we came out of the restaurant, the sun was still up, and it looked really good. Then the sun went down over the horizon, and so it started.
It really started standing out even more. It was awesome.
It popped more without direct sun on it. So
it was nice.
The cool thing about these colors is if geeking out like I am over the different colors of the Bronco and seeing them in the wild and natural lighting, it's really cool to see how the paint looks different even in different lighting, sun up, cloudy, or down at night. The Area 51 is going to do that as well. At one point in time, race red was an option. I mean, but I've had a red vehicle, flat, no metallic before, and then that's why I said, well, maybe rapid red. And so I'm talking about all these different colors because I think I've been across every color that Ford offers and was honestly at one point in time considering each one.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that. And here's the crazy thing. I'm not a person that typically has a problem making up their mind. But I think what happened here was, from the reveal, we reserved Broncos based on what we saw that one night. And then you went to the website and you were doing your build and price. And it was really cool, to be able to see to be able to see the different colors out there. So
hi, Terrence.
Terrence, how are you?
And Meg, we're in Chesapeake.
Yeah.
Do you live there in Virginia Beach now?
Yep. So we're in southeastern Virginia, and the Outer Banks is I joke and say an hour and 45 minutes for me, an hour and 30 for Becky. So lead foot.
Okay, don't give away my secret.
Yeah. So we're just right down the street from there. We're 3 hours from the mountains, and so it's going to be pretty cool down here. But let's stick to the colors real quick, and then we'll get off the color. Shiny squirrel stuff.
I know. I'm the shiny squirrel person.
And so the colors really change with the lighting. And then, I just said I went around to all the different colors. I settled on Area 51 because I just felt like, other than Cyber Orange, it was the color that was the most unique. Cyber Orange is definitely, a color. I mean, Jeep has a color similar. I think theirs is, I don't know what they call it, but it's more of a straight yellow. Your traditional yellow, I guess. I
think here lately, I feel like I've seen every color of the rainbow on the Jeep.
Right.
And then some.
And Jeep offers a lot.
Crazy vibrant.
Right. And they offer a lot more colors.
They're very bright.
And I think one thing that Ford will do, because we were talking about this last night, the marketing company that Ford hired need to get an Emmy, basically, because they did a fabulous job rolling this thing out.
Yeah, look at how the sales.
And Ford had reserved a ton of them, and then the actual sales turning reservations into orders, and then I know the number's gone up and down, but it's pretty strong. But my point being is they've got enough new things out there, right now going on. I think as the years go on, the colors will expand.
Right.
And you also have to consider there's a business angle behind this. The Bronco's built at MAP, and it's built with the Ranger. And so they're different, Ranger bodies, Bronco bodies going through, and they're spraying these things, in a certain schedule, in a certain sequence. It's not like there's a separate booth somewhere just for the Bronco. So you can have a totally different set of colors there. So whatever works on the Bronco, business-wise, I see it's going to need to work on the Ranger. It's good. I mean, it's actually brilliant to do that. But hey, I even think the Ranger could use more colors because the Ranger is a very popular pickup truck.
And it's interesting that they brought that back.
Well, yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
They brought the Bronco back, and then they brought the Ranger back.
Yeah. And then if you ever hear the stories, the behind the scenes stories of how the Bronco actually came out, it was basically because of the Ranger. When you get down, I mean, there's a lot of decisions, but the basics, right? It took the Bronco it took the Ranger platform to allow that Bronco to come back, because for business, they needed to be able to get units out, maybe not build a separate plant for the separate vehicle. But I really think Ford's done an outstanding job with the Bronco. When you look, I'm not trying to rag on Jeep, because look, Jeep's been around a long time. They've earned their stripes with all this stuff. But I saw a Jeep tonight in the parking lot. It was 2 spots over from the Bronco, and it just looked outdated now. I mean, the Bronco, it's the 2021 look of the early Bronco that you hope Ford would do, right? When I saw the retro one that came out in like 04, remember the gray ones, like titanium color? It was cool looking because it was different and it was back. But I like the 2. I really like the one that we have now, the actual Bronco that's being sold. I like it better in the concept. And normally the concepts look better than the finished product. But I think in this case, to me, it's reversed. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's read some of the comments here. So, my dealer said the rumor is that the classic Bronco Blue is coming to 2022. Ford is the one thing that I will tell you is there's always a surprise out there. And so I wouldn't doubt they've announced the hot pepper red and the, eruption green. They've announced those 2 colors. I wouldn't be surprised if another color gets added at all. So totally one of the lighter blues would be awesome.
Switching Fender decals.
Okay, good point, Jim. So, all right, I understand why they're doing it. They want something more early, more traditional Bronco. I really think what Ford did with the colors, with the logos, were pretty unique. But I get it. They're stickers. They stick on there. They're pretty thick. I'm leaving my Badlands logo on there. Now, I can't tell you that there's not going to be something to go with that Badlands logo that we're coming up with ourselves. But I'm leaving it right where it is because I think with the color scheme that we're doing, it's going to work. I do really like the Broncos with the early Bronco look. Did you see? Well, you didn't see this. I saw this last night. You don't eat, sleep Broncos like I do. There's a white Bronco was in a garage, and the post was saying something like the guy was getting ready to lift it and do some other stuff, but he put this black early Bronco logo on the front fender.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
And the black bucking horse, the actual Bronco logo, and man, it looks sharp.
Sweet.
Looks sharp. So, is your phone really going off?
No. Kids coming in.
Let's see here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was reading here. Yeah, making I think here's the thing. We were just talking about the unique features and the things that you're going to do to your Bronco. I think you're going to see, tons of that. What I don't want to do is fall into this designing our aftermarket or designing our modifications to kind of match the latest thing on social media or on YouTube. I think the really cool thing is when you go outside the box and you do your thing. That's why we were talking last night about the gentleman who took his Bronco, I think it was cyber orange, and he painted it yellow. And total respect for somebody like that, because they took this brand new Bronco, totally disassembled, and painted it.
I would have heartburn over that.
Yeah, that's strong though.
It's good for him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to do it. I think I would cry painting.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to back these comments without messing them up. Here we go. Yeah, look, I love seeing this stuff on here, and thanks for the comments tonight, by the way. I like seeing what other people, if you received your Bronco, if you have your build date, if you haven't. Now, one thing I want to speak to those who haven't received the build date yet, and I know I used to get so when somebody would say, just hang in there, you're just
bummed.
I was bummed. I was seriously bummed, and I get it. But the one thing I can tell you is that when that email comes, I'll never forget. It was that Thursday, 11:04 a.m. I get the ding, the email comes through. I look at it. There it was. It was so cool to see that. And then it became more real to me. We joke all the time. I have all this serious stuff, and you have life to live and to do stuff and business and all of that. That's why this is cool to me, because it's an escape from reality, I think.
Yeah.
And when we get our Bronco, it's really going to be escape from reality. What did I say tonight about traffic? And by the way, is it just me, or does it seem like traffic, the average driver is getting a little crazy on the road?
People are just angry. No, but what he was talking about tonight was just being able to jump in the Bronco and go somewhere to avoid all the traffic.
Off the beaten path, to get rid
just
of the
away
crowd.
from the crazy.
And you can do it in another vehicle.
Yeah.
Like I said last, I just think it's way cooler to do it in a Bronco, right? The base Sasquatch has its own sticker. I'll just keep, I actually saw that. So it's more of just the Sasquatch sticker, and the base Bronco is really awesome.
Yeah, Andy, the cars on the road have just been awful.
Yeah, if you're a trucker, you know it better than anyone. It's just like I know I'm getting older and a little get off my lawn kind of stuff, but I just like I know the driving's getting bad. So, I mean, you think so, right? I'm not just being a.
I swear, I think I about get clipped once daily.
Yeah, we thought about a YouTube channel based on footage from a dash cam.
Yeah.
From me driving around every day, but that's in the card. But it's really cool, this whole Bronco thing. You can do it in another vehicle. You can buy a Jeep and do it, and you can buy an FJ Cruiser. You can do whatever, right? A 4Runner. I just think that what I know for a fact is that the Bronco, when you get down to it, if you actually use it, it can go probably in more places than any other factory four-wheel drive out there. That's my personal opinion, but we'll see. Yeah. Hey,
I'm not promoting any bumper car isms, but,
no, but
I think that's funny.
No, I mean, here's the thing too. Getting off Broncos for a second with driving. When I see a truck, man, I know how.
Hey, they're a lot bigger than me.
Get out of the way because guys can't stop in a hurry. So think about this. Off-road, I think what happens is, regardless of what you're driving, the majority, maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I think the majority of people, at least that I've met, are really cool and all work together off-road. There's probably that one or two people out there at any given weekend.
Brotherhood.
I think
that
so.
That sense of community.
Yeah, and so we're hopefully, if we're in trouble and somebody with any brand of vehicle is going to help us, and I know we'll help anyone. I could care less what you drive, and I think that's the cool thing. So it's fun. You have the banter, the back and forth, and we had one person that went totally ballistic on social media. He was a diehard Jeep guy, and gotta love him for that.
I think he needed a rabies shot or something.
Man, it was bad. And speaking of, here's our little Sasquatch coming up here. Hopefully you can see her. But anyway, getting back to the Bronco stuff, it's really cool. I think when Becky actually, because she's not like geeking out over the Bronco like me, but I think you really, really like it.
I do.
I think when you actually get to drive it, and if you haven't driven a Bronco, maybe you've sat in one at a dealer or at some type of show somewhere, it is the most unique vehicle out there. It just feels right. Somebody, there was one of the marketing people, and they were asking for opinions and stuff, and they said, what did you think when you sat in this Bronco? When it was a antimatter, black diamond, Sasquatch. And the first thing that came to my mind, and I'll say some crazy things, dumb things once in a while, but first thing that came to my mind was Ford built it for me. Like grabbing the steering wheel and where the armrest is and the foot peg in the bottom, little things like that to rest your foot. I mean, it's no big deal sitting in a parking lot, but on a long trip, you'll appreciate that. The rake of the windshield, the proximity to all the controls and how it was laid out.
It fit you like a glove.
And I even talked to someone that helped with the design on this, and the hero switches are pretty big. I mean, I even seen someone comment on a video like, wow, these things are like straight out of the 80s. They're huge and they're big. And one of the people that designed it said, yeah, we did that because what if you're out and you have your gloves on? If you notice the spacing of the pedals, you have boots on.
Yeah.
If Ford thought about the people using the Bronco and how you're going to be dressed.
Right. That's smart.
I mean, who does that? So yes, I know I'm being a fanboy or whatever you want to call it. I get it. But when I sat in this Bronco, it just made sense to me. And so what was great was when you saw the reveal and you reserved it, wasn't it nice to actually sit in one, drive one, or see one, and it was what you expected? I mean, I was talking to somebody about that, and geez, we reserved two. How crazy was that? I mean, that's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
And it's but it makes sense to us. So And if you get the right offer tomorrow on your Range Rover, you're selling it, right?
You see my face?
That's serious. Don't go there.
Yeah, let's not go there. Right
yeah. So, yeah, and getting back to the customization and the logos and stuff on there, I can't wait, like I said, to see all the stuff out there. I think Ford with the Heritage Edition, if that's one of the new trims coming out next year, I think they'll probably have a logo like that. If I was doing anything with it, I'd definitely have that retro look. So, but so what else do you want to talk about tonight?
Well,
you go.
I know this is Bronco related, but off topic, but it'll be interesting when we get it because we have a daughter who drives. She cannot wait to drive it to school. The fun part will be if he gives her the keys. Yeah, I don't foresee it happening.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, but it's for all of us to drive. It really is. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
You know that's on film, right?
It's not film, it's live stream. Right, it's embedded in the inner workings of the web.
Documented. Now you're in trouble.
Yeah, go ahead and download this video and remind me one day in the future. But hey, if you haven't, by the way, speaking of that, please like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Yeah, if Gavin would here, he'd say hit the bell.
Or smash the button.
Smash.
That's what the proper kid technology is.
Hi guys, welcome to no, we won't go there. Smash the bell icon so you'll know when we dump a video or go live or whatever it is that the kids say. But no, it's really cool. I really can't wait for you to see some of the stuff we're going to do. We have plans for the GoPro being mounted in certain places of the Bronco to watch for functionality of certain switches. So that's going to be cool. And it's not just that, going over, a rock, which is kind of cool. But it's going to be, how does the Bronco really, really perform these different angles? You've seen these angles before. We do have a couple reviews that I'd kind of lined up earlier in the year. Someone that most of you know, and household name to really anyone that knows trucks and stuff like that. But that was a long time ago when I thought I was getting a Bronco. So let's hope that that's still in and we get to do that. That'll be a really cool review. I think you'll love it, somewhere close by. Mm-hmm. And let's see, what else is there going on? So
Jessica's talking about adding a body mount rock slider.
Yep. So have you seen the Power, the one that Mitchell Watts has on his at TC Customs? That's a pretty cool deal. It's like a power step rock slider. My question on that is, let's try to crack a few rocks open with it and let's see how it holds up. I'm impressed. I love the idea. I can't wait to see it used. Body mount, rock sliders. Someone was commenting, they thought that the aftermarket.
Thank you, Jim.
Hey, I really appreciate it, Jim. I think someone out there was, they were commenting on the aftermarket really doing this. If you hear any heavy breathing, it's our little dog over here, Chloe.
I wouldn't say she's little.
She's a big dog. Actually looks like Sasquatch. She's a
doodle.
But they're looking at mounting these rock sliders directly to the frame. So, and versus where they're mounted now. I think they're mounted to the bottom of the body. So, yeah, and like I said, these new components, they're going to go through different stages of design. And then and that's the cool thing. I don't expect anyone to build anything for off-roading and hit it out of the park day one. I think Ford might have done it with the Bronco.
Well, it's going to morph over time.
Yeah, and like the next gen Bronco is going to be great. There was the early concerns about the AC because of the vents in the front, but then the electric step, great job. So the AC vents, but then when you actually get in one and turn the AC on, like we did, and we did a review on that, the AC worked great. Now, I don't recommend putting the AC on the floor. We've talked about that in the video. Check the video out, by the way. It's here on our channel. But when you actually get it, it works. And so then there was concerns. What was the other concern?
The noise.
Like the noise.
The road noise was a concern.
With a soft top.
Right. And then the AC not cooling well was one concern, which we didn't find to be an issue at all.
Well, the road noise was, and we didn't use the decibel meter yet.
Right, but
it wasn't loud at all. It's like, okay.
we've also had convertibles in the past too. So, you know,
and we had the
the
Big Ben, and there was a question or a concern at one time that maybe the grill was making noise on a Big Ben.
but it's just like a convertible to me. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, SEMA, great Pilgrim Wonders. That's great. SEMA will be I think, the big push, or the big, for lack of a better word, the big dump of aftermarket parts, to be able to see the different designs that are available now and the ones that are coming. You know, Ford really worked with a lot of people too, aftermarket, to give them time to design this cool stuff. Now, I'll tell you, I think I'm trying to pronounce this right. You know, I butcher words up all the time, but Hulk, I think it's Hawk or Hulk. They make this front bumper, and they make a lot of components for Jeeps. Now, they have this one bumper that is, I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's on a black Bronco in the sand. It is an awesome looking front bumper. Now, I did get the modular bumper for mine because I wanted a winch ready, but I also want to keep the 360, the front camera. And so what I'm really looking for is that bumper that I like the way it looks. It has a good winch to help pull you up. You know, the mounting of the winch high and low, in my opinion, and maybe this is my lack of off-roading knowledge, but it seems to me I'd want the winch as low as possible without affecting approach or ground clearance or anything. Obviously, it wouldn't affect ground clearance, but the approach angle. And because I want to keep it as low as possible. And if I do that, then our front camera still works. See, right now with most of the winches out there in the bumpers, the front camera, it obstructs it.
Right.
Yeah, it does. So, you know, now that bumper had a design on it that I didn't particularly care for. It sort of looked like the Jeep grill underneath it on the skid plate. And I'm sure they're going to change that. But I would love to see something out there on that. That would be really awesome. So, and a fix for the 20. Yeah. And Andy, thanks for that comment. I was wondering the same exact thing. I know it changes a lot with the autopilot or the driver assist, co-pilot, I think it is. There's, you know, you just relocating it may affect how that works. Maybe not. I've heard two stories posing back and forth, but I think that they should relocate it. So most of your winches, at least the Warren winch on the mod bumper, the modular front bumper, which I believe is standard for 22. So those are regular bumpers for the front, and now the one that we upgraded for, you can get it in 2022. So really, really cool stuff happening. And I would assume that, you know, the grills are easily replaced on the Bronco. I mean, the front fenders, obviously the doors, the rear quarters, it all unbolts.
Right.
The grill comes off in a hurry. So, you know, that's the cool thing. You can totally transform your Bronco in a couple hours if you have all the spare parts.
So I guess I have to like learn this stuff.
You have to learn this stuff. Yeah.
So I can dismantle my Bronco.
Yeah, you're going to dismantle. I think it's going to be cool. Yeah, there's a plan. So I can't wait to see the camera fix for 22. I think that's the biggest thing too. There's little things in there like that, but think about designing this vehicle and think about every single thing that we call right or perfect on.
Right.
I mean, it's a totally new vehicle. So, and that's the cool thing, you know, that first gen, so to speak, that first generation. I mean, I know we're at the 6th generation Bronco. So I guess the modifications, the next series of Broncos, the next generation, you know, you're going to see stuff change. So I'm excited. I mean, what do you think? Now, what if we get this thing Wednesday or Thursday? Are you ready for that?
No.
Why are you not ready to drop me off at the dealership?
I know. Well, no, because then you'll be gone all the time.
Hey, we'll still be doing the Extreme Bronco Sunday Night Edition, and then that's a playoff Extreme Makeover Home Edition, which I was blessed to be a builder for.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
That was a fun time.
It was a fun time. So trying to bring that little bit of Sunday night thing back in it, but then the extreme part of the Bronco will be, hey, watch some clips from what we've gotten ourselves into this weekend.
Right.
So that, you know, that Friday day. I mean, these are in Friday day. And Friday afternoon, and then Saturday.
Your experience in Sunday burnout or something.
I'm not burnout.
I know.
What did I do today?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't here.
So speaking of horses and Broncos and Mustangs and all this other good stuff, this young lady here is actually an excellent, what are you going to call it?
I'm an equestrian.
Equestrian. I was going to say.
That's my goal, to be.
She's a horse person in general.
Yeah,
so what the
I'm
heck?
a Bronco girl, just not 4 wheels.
Actually, you were on a Bronco.
I've been on a Bronco a few times.
So why don't
that
you?
Wasn't fun,
No. This is non-Bronco related, but keep it in like 3 minutes or less. Tell me your story about the Jake kind of doing the Bronco thing.
Oh yeah.
Looking like the Bronco logo, right? The bucking.
So okay, my horse that I got after being out of horses for 20 years, and after 3 kids, and
hold on a second. You know, Andy, you're right. It's a possibility, right? So.
Oh, and what Andy said, everyone, is that she's gonna trade you in for the Bronco.
Yeah, probably. You know.
No, but I've had a few Bronco moments. No, my horse, I took him. So I'm a Western rider, and I'm branching out into the Western dressage discipline. But I went to a clinic at a farm not too far from us. Anyways, I have the smallest horse. He's 15 hands, a cow pony. Okay, he's bred to chase cows. He's really quick, can turn on a dime, super agile. So we go to this clinic. I'm the only Western rider, smallest horse. Everybody else is dressage, fancy dressage horses, and they're huge, like super fancy, nice horses. And not that my horse wasn't nice, but anyways. So we're plugging along the first 10 minutes of the clinic, and they're trying to get the microphone, the little thing in check, and it kept blinking on and off.
Oh, you got to hear this. Don't go anywhere.
There's a train going by. I mean, there's lots of external stimuli. Yeah. My poor horse, he just spooked, and he took off like a rocket ship. Well, I did all the wrong things, clamped down, trying to shut him down, stop him. Well, then he starts bucking. And it's from one end of the arena all the way around.
Like legitimately the Bronco logo.
It was a Bronco.
Yeah.
And I held on, and then I got all the way around, and I was like, you know what? The fence is not looking nice for me today, because I really don't want to go into it.
She crashed.
So I just flew off.
Yeah, and so that would be equivalent to flooring it in the rocks without the top, the doors, and no seatbelt, which is not recommended.
I hit the eject button.
She hit the eject button and just bailed on it. But that's her experience with horses. So, and I'm I came from I still am part of a Mustang group, and I really love Ford Mustang. It's great. Got a super fast car. Super loud, fast, and all that. But as the older I get, I think I'm slowing down a little bit there, and so that engine will get sold. It's a 347, by the way. It'll get sold, and we'll put fuel injected kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, it takes jet fuel.
Yeah. And what else is missing on this live stream tonight? Gavin. No, we already said that. Listen, my buddy. What's the other thing? My hat. See, I'm trying to branch out.
You're good.
I don't have my Sasquatch hat. A Sasquatch hat and this shirt just would clash. Like you don't know if you're in the mountains and the islands or whatever.
No, you have the Sasquatch dog down.
So
here.
I really hope. So getting back to this, I really hope to be able to do a live this week from my garage with our Bronco outside. But this is really cool. And if you haven't gotten your build date, hang in there. It's right around the corner. Totally worth it. When you start getting the emails from Ford updating you saying your Bronco's built, I was able to look on the app and have a source to help me, look behind the scenes, so to speak. And she called me back and said, hey, it was built. It was built on the 8th, and it went through the mod shop the next day.
That was exciting news.
Yeah, just being able to get that real-time thing to where I knew it was going from the plant to the mod shop. And then Friday afternoon, let me know it's sitting in a holding lot. I guess when they take them from MAP, they go somewhere to a train station or whatever. I don't really know the details there, but the loading depot. And so apparently, and it could at this point be on the train. It could actually be in town, and I just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're supposed to let me know when it's scheduled for delivery. Provided now she did say once in a while the trucks show up a day early, so I may get a call saying, hey, it's here.
I think they're going to surprise you.
I think they're going to surprise me.
I mean, it's so crazy to me that we're in such a technical age. I mean, did you ever think you're going to order a car and get to watch the progress on your phone?
No, I didn't.
It's like kind of like ordering from Jimmy John's. I don't know if anybody else orders from Jimmy John's. I just did Friday.
The first time ever on
you,
a Bronco channel compared the Bronco to a sub.
Well, sorry, but it's legit. Okay, so you place your order and you have the order tracker, and it tells you, we received your order. We're making your sandwich. Oh, it's out for delivery. You know, it's cool.
Well, and the cool thing too is as we've seen the progression of the Bronco in the leaked videos and as the components, and you go to the events and you're seeing the aftermarket stuff and you're seeing the components of it, I really think it's awesome to, you know, there's so many things in a Bronco that aren't generally talked about. Like I'll mention something about the louvers in the front and someone thinks it's aerodynamics and someone else thinks it's something else. And I actually know now what it is. And that's one of our videos. Yeah. How does this thing function? When does it work? How does it work? Why is it there? Why did they put it there? Why does no other vehicle have it? Or other vehicles have it, they look a little bit different. You know, and then as we modify the Bronco, what's the downside to modifying something? You know, when you change the tire size, you change the speedometer, right? So who's calibrating that for you, or can you do it yourself? You know, all of these little inner workings. And
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and so are your tires rubbing? You know, are they just too big? You know, I was talking to somebody else out there between the 35 and the 37s. I get it. You're gaining ground clearance, right? I just don't. I think unless you're really doing something dramatic with the body, separating the body from the chassis, you know, body lift, and changing all of the suspension in the front and the I don't want to say a bad word. Independent front suspension, IFS. Yeah, because you got to watch that. Man, that goes sideways real quick. But you know, when you start changing the geometry of this thing, you know, what is too much? Is there too much? So I want to keep my Bronco, at least the drivetrain is going to be as probably as standard or factory as possible for as long as possible. I like the way the wheels look. I like the tires.
Yeah, rubbing and the miles per gallon speedometer.
Yep.
Oh, I lost my thing.
All right. So I think, do we still have audio? We don't have audio. Sure. Yeah, we have audio. Sorry, our dog here is like going crazy.
Very, very needy tonight.
So yeah, and you know, obviously Mitch is going to get all that worked out on his, but you know, I think if you get too far off the beaten path, you know, you start to get a little, I don't know, it starts to become a project. I've had enough project vehicles that I want to keep it predictable. Does that make any sense? Like I want to modify it, but I also don't want to worry. But
you have to be careful too, like with the 37-inch tires and the rubbing, definitely. But then you don't want to, I don't know, but I wouldn't think that I would want to lift the Bronco, especially if you're going to do a lot of off-roading, rock crawling, because it's messing up your center of gravity and height. And I
mean, to an extreme. Now, here's the thing about, depends on what kind of rock crawling you're doing, because ground clearance becomes your friend, right? Mm-hmm. So the bigger tire you go, I get it. But you do have a great point about, and what about with the sway bar disconnect? You know, now we increased articulation. I'm wondering if you've got a tire that's close to rubbing, if it's not rubbing, how's it going to work when we disconnect the sway bar and you really start getting this Bronco moving and articulating?
I just think you're messing with
well, but that's part of
it at that point.
Yeah, but that's part of it, because the modification, and if you have a solid front axle, going with a 40+ inch tire on these things is probably not a big deal. But the independent front suspension, how big is big enough for that? I don't really know yet.
Pilgrim Wanderings, your comment about trusting the engineers from Ford and staying close to stock is best. I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, why do you want to reinvent the wheel?
Well,
I mean, it's cool to embellish.
Well, here's the thing. So I've built multiple hot rods, and I have the one right here on this book cover, that black and gold car, if you can see that. So that car is totally rebuilt between here and another house, but and a lot of good friends with some really cool tools in their garage, like lifts and everything else. But that car is good as it is, and it's pretty old 347, and I have run the heck out of this car. I've just experienced a valve train issue, and it was a geometry issue. It was something that Ford engineers could test in probably a year, right? They could set all these engines up and do all these tests and break them down. I discovered it in 10 years. But the difference is I didn't drive it, but probably what, 300 miles in 10 years.
It doesn't
go
very far.
Like seriously, this car is, and that's part of the reason why I want to get rid of such an obnoxiously loud 13.5 to 1 compression straight cam 2 engine, and go with something that's fuel injected, pump gas, and we can get in.
One day you're gonna have to do a live stream with that.
We're going to do a live in the garage of you washing that
loud.
dirty Rover you drive, and
Dang it.
and we're making the garage over, so to speak. We're going to redo the garage because hey, we have something else showing up in there, and we just don't have enough room in there.
One more thing to squeeze in.
Yep, one more thing during a hurricane that you're worried about. So, and look, here's the thing: the Bronco is that vehicle to modify. It's the something to make your own. I get it. Don't get me wrong. If somebody wants to totally rebuild this thing, suspension and everything else, good for them. I'm speaking for us. I think that what we're doing with the trips we want to take with it, I want to keep it as predictable as possible, as much as that is. Now, when you're off-roading, there's really not that predictable. I mean, you can cut a tire in a minute. You can roll down a hill in a second. You can get stuck where you wouldn't think you would get stuck. I learned this. Didn't get stuck in Texas, but I saw a few situations where the trail guides, by the way, were excellent. People that actually off-road, teaching you how to off-road, not someone that knows the theory. These guys actually, and gals, they actually do it. And they were able to help identify, as a non-off-roader, to identify these things that you need to watch out for, and things that I wouldn't even think about. One of the things is trust. You have to trust the spotter. Even though you have a camera in the front, if you're doing some crazy off-roading, you need a spotter. There was a few times where they were telling me driver, turning to the driver's side, and I felt like I needed more passenger, but I couldn't see what they could see.
I would have a tough time with that.
So you had a feeling that you were going one way, but they were telling you to turn the other. It just didn't feel natural. Well, guess what? You learn trust there. And of course, our Johnny, our trail guide, I really trusted him. Like, if he's saying driver, I'm going driver.
Right. You got to trust the people on the ground there,
yeah,
because you can't see it all.
And so off-roading is unpredictable. What I'm talking about predictability would be driving to the Outer Banks, or driving to Florida, or our trip to California, which is going to be totally crazy. And hopefully next year is a little calmer, with everything going on, and we don't have so much chaos there. But that drive to California, I really don't want to do a whole lot. So Supercell West, by the way, we're going to wrap up with this in East. Supercell Celebration West just wrapped up, I guess, today, officially, maybe last night or today. I wish I could have gone, but I think that's the perfect event if you had your Bronco, right? Supercell East for Gavin and I was huge when we went last spring, because we were actually able to ride in a Bronco for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, I saw 2 of them at our local dealership, and I get to sit in them, but I didn't get to crank it up, drive it.
Yeah. You guys had so much fun.
Oh, we had a blast. I mean, that's where we really started pushing videos here on Bronco Wild Outdoors. And up until that point, it was like 2 or 3 videos. The thing about the Bronco, it's real. The community's real. I've met so many nice people. And I can't wait to grow this channel. So if you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to our channel, hit that little bell icon, or as Gavin would say, smash it. Bell. And yeah, so I am coming to California. And look, it's no secret at this point. I was hoping to get a Bronco really early on and then do it. But
the plan was this summer.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is the little Easter egg, the coordinates. Is it Johnson Valley? I think it is.
I think that's what you said.
We're going to head out there and, enjoy it, and kind of, get to do some stuff, meet up with a lot of people across the country, and that's the goal. And this is Gavin and I spending some time together that, regardless of what we go through in life, or how old or how long I'm around here bugging you guys, or whatever the good stuff that we find ourselves in the future, we'll always talk about when we did that cross-country trip. I mean, that's one of those things.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
Oh, it's going to be adventurous. When Gavin and I go to the convenience store, we come back with a story. So this young lady right here is going to be on pins and needles with letting us loose across the country. And that's the cool thing. I think when you guys really get to see Gavin out enjoying himself, and you know, like we started the video off tonight. I'm so proud to have a co-host like Gavin in the fact that he knows just about, well, he doesn't know everything, but he knows as much or more than I do about the Bronco. Right? I mean, he's reading on the technical stuff now. He's gearing for the Sasquatch or the, you know, which engine, which trim, and it's just like, wow. And then he knows his torque ranges, and
yes, he does.
he knows why we went with the 2.7, because we wanted the most torque at the lowest RPM, where we're typically really hovering in that off-road, you know. But if you're out here, you know, Bahaing, I mean, you know, your torque range now has become something that's a higher RPM.
But the hard part for him is going to be he's got to wait all these years before he can actually drive it.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough. And this Bronco, if we don't, you know, do something, sell it in the future, or do a huge, well, let's not even say that. I don't want to say that. If we do something crazy with it, it'll be his first car. And how cool is that?
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, in a few days, American Trail and my Bronco. Cool. And look, I followed you today, by the way. I definitely like to connect after that. You know, if you want to come live on the show one night, we can definitely do that. Tell me how you like your Bronco after maybe a month or so. I'm, you know, definitely looking for that, because I mean, you guys know what I think about the Bronco, right? I love it. And the fact that I've been able to drive one in such extremes, I really know what I'm getting. But you know, I think there was I wish I could think of the guy's YouTube channel. If you, the Trans-American Trail, I'm trying to think, there was a trail in the Shenandoah that wraps all the way around North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, back up to West Virginia. This guy, they drive a couple of different Jeeps and I think a Dodge truck. It's a really, if one of these days in the future I'll mention it. I probably shouldn't even have brought it up if I didn't know the guy's channel.
We'll research that.
Yeah, we'll research it. We'll get back to you. Maybe I'll post it in the comments here in the future. But it's a really cool thing to be able to do. Now that's something you do with other drivers. Mm-hmm. So in our case, we can't wait to hook up with other Bronco. Yeah, other Bronco owners, and to get to do some cool stuff, because you know that's what we plan on.
Wouldn't that be fun then? Do a poker run.
You never know. I mean,
Broncos,
when this Bronco thing really
organize it.
When this Bronco thing really gets going, when we start getting more of them out there, I think it's really going to grow. The community is going to grow. Cottywomple. That's it. Okay. Cottywomple.
How could you forget that name?
It's pretty cool. It's different. I've watched several of his videos, and really just seem like great people, great content, and yeah, actually that's where I learned that I'm going to have to get a chainsaw and carry with me.
Oh, great! Okay.
Because guess what? And they actually, I think,
gets in your way.
I think they use the electric chainsaw.
Okay.
Because electric now is totally different than it was just 5 years ago. So who knows? And because you never know. I mean, if the tree's big enough, you're going to have to go around it, or possibly if it's not too big, you can winch it. But they found several from just a thunderstorm that went through a day or two before them. They found several blocking their trail. Wow. So it's definitely you need to watch that. When I turn you loose out there in your Range Rover, you can
let me just carry the chainsaw with me.
But Pilgrim, thank you for that. The Pilgrim, one of these days I'm gonna have to learn your name. But the Cottywomple, thanks for that. It's definitely a cool channel. So by the way, if you're watching this now, look them up, check them out, and definitely good content. So, and that's what I mean is there's a lot of different people out here. It's been doing this stuff for a long time. So getting back to the Bronco, we're going to wrap this up this week. If we get it, I promise you, if you see us going live,
you will know.
If you see us going live before next, well, actually, we're doing, I shouldn't say that. So we have this thing that we're trying to do each week, Driven Wild. Is that what it was? Yeah, Driven Wild reviews. So I think I'm going to try to do that on maybe Thursday nights. I was going to do Wednesday. I think we're going to switch it up to Thursday. There's a lot of competing stuff on Wednesday night. So I won't say, but you'll see it in the comments. You'll see I have a big surprise, and that'll be it. It will be huge, because you know what? This is what I've been waiting for a year and a half almost. So it's amazing. It's a year and a half. Can you believe that?
No.
We've been waiting on this thing for a year and a half. So anyway, we're out of here. I appreciate everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes. And we went, look, a couple more minutes, 1 hour right there.
Wow.
Congratulations. What did I tell you? 30 minutes? So
anyway,
she is a great co-host and a beautiful, excellent wife.
Oh, thank you.
by the
You're
way.
very sweet.
So anyway, and yeah, let me go put on a regular T-shirt, man, get back out of my element, this hat, and get my hat back on. We actually have some pretty cool Bronco, not Bronco, but we have some hats for our Bronco that we're going to be introducing here. So it's going to be pretty cool. So everyone, see you later. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks.
Everybody have a great week.
If you don't mind, share this. If you would, like and subscribe. Hit the bell, as Gavin said. You need to call him up here to do it. Smash the bell. And I appreciate it. And let's talk Bronco next Sunday. See you.
See you later.
Bye.